What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I'm Andrew, this is Aggie. We're here at Nexus Jiu-Jitsu in Folsom. And today we're gonna work on some front headlock escape options. We're gonna go over 3. Normally in my videos, we go over 3 or 4 options. If you can hear somebody yelling outside, I have a pet homeless guy who kind of just hangs out around. He's been around my gym since I started it 3.5 years ago. He lives out here and he's losing it.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic man.
So he'll be yelling intermittently. You're welcome. But yeah, so we're gonna work on some front headlock escapes. There's one that's called like a cheap drag or cheap arm drag. That's a really good one I use a lot. And I can counter that one with a little sit out motion that I like. And then lastly, we can just sit to half guard. And we gotta sit to half guard on the proper side, and we'll talk about why and go over it in some depth. So if you get caught in that front headlock position, chasing the legs, trying to finish your takedowns is an option, especially if you're in like MMA where there's a cage. Otherwise, it's a good idea to play these more counter style options to counter the front headlock versus just trying to power through it. So let's take a look at those options, and hopefully you guys can have some better success from those positions and feel more free to shoot and get into takedown options because you're not worried about the front headlock. So let's get started. All right, so we're working here from the front headlock position. A lot of times in front headlock, people will lock their hands. Sometimes they'll grab your chin and your arm here, right? This is kind of how I like to play it. So a lot of people will lock their hands and they're looking for, anacondas, darces, guillotines, things of that nature. And a lot of times they're going to be keeping their legs a little far away, so I can't like reach them. Like they're sprawling, they're putting all their weight on my back, things like that. So generally, if my head is out on the side of the arm that's around my neck, that's a really easy guillotine option. So my thought, generally speaking, is to try to keep my head more towards the middle and make it a little harder for them to lock in that guillotine. Out here, if she just dropped her right hip inside, she'd already be playing guillotine options, right? But if I keep my head more towards the middle, more on the inside, it makes that a lot more difficult. And that can set up some escape processes for me. Every now and then, what I like to do is I'll act like I'm bringing my head out. I'll step up this outside leg and act like I'm trying to peek out and maybe attack a wrestling takedown, just so they close this elbow to the inside. I want them to think that I'm trying to do this maybe, this kind of sit out motion, which I don't do a lot because I don't find a lot of success there, but it is an option. So I can maybe fake like I'm going this way and make them think I am, so they close their elbow to the inside, which is actually the direction I want to take it. So what I'm gonna look to do, I'm stepping up, I'm gonna push this elbow inside, and as I do, I'm gonna take my ear to their chest, like I'm trying to listen to their heartbeat. And I'm looking towards the arm that I'm pushing. I can't look to the inside, it's gonna break my neck, right? I don't just wanna put the back of my head on their chest. I wanna put my ear on their chest. So I push the elbow in, put my ear on the chest. Now my hand that's on the mat is gonna reach up and grab, right? Now I have the start of my arm drag. As I do that, I'm gonna bring this knee towards her knees and reach around their back. Sometimes you get a good headbutt in there, right? Just like that. And now I've hit my cheap drag. I'm in my position to hit my flank, go for my back takes, all my good options from here, right? One more time with that. Again, we're here in that front headlock, playing here. I act like I'm going up so that they crash me back down. I push their elbow inside and touch my ear to their chest. Reach up, reaching around the back with this one. I bring my knee forward, reach around the back, drag them through, and now I'm in position to go for my own guillotines, back takes, crucifix options, all sorts of good stuff from that one little sequence. I love the cheap drag. It's such a good position to get out of front headlocks. Now we'll add a combo to that. Every now and then, when I go for the cheap drag, I don't get the right position, I don't get the right pressure. I'm gonna try to bring my head and elbow out the far side. I'll show it from 2 angles. So from that same angle, we're playing here, and I'm trying to go for that cheap drag. It's not really working. Something's going wrong. I'm gonna use this elbow to punch high into her armpit, opening up a lot of space for my head to peek out the other side. As I do that, I'll switch knees. So I go here, boom, peek my head out the other side, and now I can reach across her back and look to wrestle here and get good takedowns and good flanks. If they fully limp arm out, then I'll have their back, I'll have a good flank. If we stay more attached, then I'll get this kind of little cheap takedown, right? One more time from this angle. She has the front head. I'm coming up, she's pushing me back down. I'm looking for the cheap drag, it's not really there. I'm gonna post up, switch my knees, and elbow high, boom. See how that shucks her over? And now I can clear through and look to wrestle, right? So from this angle, so we're in the front headlock. I'm stepping up, looking for my cheap drag. It's not really there. I'm looking to post, switch knees, and I elbow hard. Look, and my head pops out to this side. See how that shucks her off, right? So again, here, I'm going here, going through shucking and looking to wrestle. And playing here, I'm looking to get my control and possibly get a takedown. Sometimes you just get a flank out of it, right? So what I'm talking about when people sometimes you don't get the takedown, sometimes the people will post both their hands and kind of limp arm out. This is what I mean. So I'm going for the same move, and as I punch through here and go to hit that flank, they post both their hands and kind of limp arm. So now I'm just chasing an angle to attack the back and go for all of my good motions from here, right? So that's another way to combo your cheap drag, right? Now a third option that I like to play is just sitting to my half guard. And the rule of sitting to your half guard from the front headlock is the same rule that you go into for guillotine defense. If someone's playing arming, guillotines, things of that nature, you want to make sure you get diagonally across their body, your hips and head on opposite sides of their body. So when I sit through for that half guard position, I want to make sure that I'm trying to get half guard on the leg on the opposite side of her body that my head is on. So for example, we're in the front headlock. I realize my head is on her right side. I want to get half guard on this left leg. So I step up my right leg so I can baseball slide my left leg in and look to catch this half guard. And most times, you notice how she posted her right hand. People are going to post that right hand, go down to their knees, and play from here, right? Because they have to post or they're just going to get rolled. So this is where I can start setting up my lower leg shift and get into my sweeping options, which I'll show from a different angle. So again, we're playing here in the front headlock, and I want to go to half guard so I can play some roll through sweeps and some other options, right? I'm going to step up that right leg, and I'm going to baseball slide my leg in here. Boom. Look, looking to catch this leg, right? And because of the power that I'm going to be throwing myself down with, she's going to have to post with this hand or it's going to turn into a sweep. So I start pulling myself down and in. I already have the underhook because that's the arm she had when she was playing the front headlock. And I can play here and go into lower leg shift options. Once I get my lower leg shift, I can lock my hands, pulling her hips close to me. We've worked this motion before. And now I walk underneath her, torquing the knee and hip, taking her through. And now I can play a bunch of different options for how to stabilize the roll through position, right? So there's a couple thoughts for you on how I like to play some front headlock counters, right? These aren't just defensive. I can play a bunch of wrist grab positions, pinning a hand, wrestling up, trying to get back to my feet, trying to pull away, etc. But I want to be offensive. I want to work to counter their options with offensive attacks and get to flanks, back takes, and sweeps. What we looked at was a simple cheap drag, right, which is a very effective front headlock counter. My thought on it is you should get to that action as early on in the front headlock situation as possible. If you wait till they're really locked in, they're pinching your elbows across and they're looking for their strangles and they're snapping you down and hitting flanks and going to your back, you're going to be behind the 8 ball a little bit. But as soon as you get in position, I'm in a front headlock, start looking for that cheap drag, right? Make sure you hit your angle. That'll give you the flank. If they're really closing that off, sometimes you can pop your head through and hit that little sit out kind of shuck by motion, and you can play wrestling options or catch a flank as well. And then lastly, and probably my most used option in Jiu-Jitsu, and if you watch a high level MMA, Damian Maia does it regularly, sitting to half guard, and then using that half guard underhook, playing lower leg shifts, and then you can get to the back or you can hit them with roll throughs, and it's pretty readily available because of the scenario of the front headlock. You have a free underhook against their whizzer. So those are the 3 options I like to play the most Those are my favorite counter options, especially when I'm wrestling. I'm hitting those drag buys and those shuck buys. Doing more jiu-jitsu, I might hit the sit out and play my half guard. So hopefully that helps you guys if you're getting caught in that position. It'll give you the freedom to be a little more offensive with your takedowns, to shoot in and not be worried about the front headlock, right? So try them out. Let me know how it goes. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You want to see anything in the future, throw it down in the comments. We got some big news coming up pretty soon. I'm going to be letting you guys kind of know a little bit here and there as we move forward. Really exciting. If you want to try to get some guesses going to see what it is, a few of you guessed it's not apparel. That's coming, but that's not the big news. But yeah, if you want to throw some guesses in there, if one of you get it right, then we'll probably give you one for free. So yeah, check that out.
We're working on a fun project.
Yeah, fun projects, a couple fun projects. So yeah, did some guesses in there. We'll see what's up, and yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Boom.